All right, the next core concept is what we call choke mechanics. So the sort of signature of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I think more so than anything, is taking someone's back and strangling them through various methods. A triangle choke would be another example of a technique that's relatively unique to a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in terms of defending yourself from your back and being able to choke somebody out. And the mechanics of this are very specific in that there is, as with the other things we've discussed so far, there are ways that work, but there are also ways that work better. And just because you're executing a choke and you're getting someone to tap or you're choking them out doesn't mean that you can't improve the efficiency of the movement. So with the choke, what we're generally trying to do is affect a triangle shape that creates an occlusion of the arteries. So you have arteries on your neck, on either side of your neck, the carotid arteries, internal and external carotid arteries. And on the back of your neck, you have a spine. So we're going to use a backstop and occlusion of arteries on either side to increase the pressure by decreasing the angle of the triangle. So the rear naked choke is a very, very simple example of that. I want my forearm lined up on the arteries of your neck on the left side, and I want my bicep on the arteries of your neck on the right side. My elbow, if it's underneath your chin, I've got the angle correct. If my elbow is over here, I can still choke you. This is by no means wrong. You're going to pass out from this, and it sucks. It's really unpleasant, but I'm going to be crushing your windpipe before I get to your arteries. So the ideal angle for a choke is this triangle where my elbow is pointed down. Now I use my head and my forearm here as the backstop, which drives your neck forward into the choke as I constrict, decreasing the angle or increasing it depending on which side of the angle you're on. And as I do that, I'm able to, for one, get a quicker and easier tap. Two, I'm going to be more pleasant to my training partners because rather than throttling their windpipe, I'm just applying pressure to the side of the neck. So in every instance, if we can create some method of triangle where we use a backstop to increase the pressure forward into the triangle, we're going to be more efficient than if we're just kind of wrapping something around someone's neck and squeezing.
Can you give another example of how this applies for a different choke?
Absolutely. The bow and arrow choke is another sort of personal favorite. If I'm over here and I'm using sort of the more traditional bow and arrow method where I just create a loop and pull, I mean, it works, but the efficiency isn't quite there. Whereas if I'm able to get a grip here and create a triangle with your gi on one side, my forearm on the other side, and my bicep or shoulder as the backstop, then I'm able to affect the choke much more efficiently.
So the first time you were doing it, there was pressure across the front of the throat.
Yes.
The second time you did it, there was pressure on both sides and on the back of the neck.
And that's where that triangle shape, we're always trying to find that triangle. In particular with the triangle choke, the leg triangle, there are many angles that you can hit that just because of the power of the legs, you're still going to choke people out. So if I can just do a quick demonstration here. So the traditional triangle, relatively, I'm pulling your arm across and I'm face on, and I'm still going to choke you here. But if I create a slightly better angle here, I can choke you without even closing my legs, just because I create a little bit more of an efficient angle with the triangle.
So in terms of the triangle shape with the occlusion on both sides and the backstop pressure,
yes.
What did you change in the triangle choke?
What I changed with the triangle choke there was and here we're referring back to lever control and rotational control. With the conventional triangle, if I bring your arm across here, notice that you kind of raised your shoulder forward. Keep your shoulder down. With a conventional triangle, there's nothing necessarily forcing your shoulder up. As I changed the angle of my hips there, I forced your shoulder up into your neck, thereby completing the third part of the triangle in a more efficient fashion than I would have otherwise.